Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss this question, that is contextualize Louis Dumont's concept of binary opposition with reference to caste system in India. With reference to caste system in India. So again here you have to divide your answer framework into three parts. That is introduction, then comes your main body, and thereafter conclusion. Now, what to write in introduction? So here you can approach this question in two ways. First, just define what exactly caste system means. Just give the definition of caste system, a general definition. Like caste system is considered as both as a cultural and structural phenomenon. Culturally, it is a system of value, belief, and practices associated with particular strata. And structurally, it is a specific pattern of relations along with the interaction among the various castes and on the basis of various disabilities and restrictions. So this is how you can give the general definition of caste system. So you can start by writing the basic general definition of caste system. And the second way you can introduce your answer by just mentioning about Louis Dumont, who he was. So like by giving his work, Louis Dumont was a French sociologist. In his book Homo Hierarchius, Caste System and Its Implication, he applied a concept called binary opposition. So just you can also start by giving reference to his work, that is Homo Hierarchius. And thereafter comes your main body. Divide your main body in two parts. In first part, we can talk about and you can write about what exactly he claimed or what exactly he observed about caste system in India. So according to where you have to mention, according to Louis Dumont, caste plays an integrative role in Indian society. In fact, Louis Dumont considered ideology of Indian society is in a binary opposition, like hierarchy against equality, purity against pollution, status against power. So caste system is a unique or a peculiar ideology to Indian society. And in fact, here you can also mention his work. In his work, Homo Hierarchius, Louis Dumont identified three elements within the caste system. And what are these three elements? This is important to mention in your answer. These three elements are first, division of labor based on pure and impure. Here you can give examples like how Brahmin were allocated a work of preaching, how Kshatriyas are allocated with the work of warrior, or Sudras are allocated with the work of menial task. Then the second element he identified is superiority of pure over impure, where you can give like how he considered cleanliness, vegetarianism are considered to be pure and superior as compared to the menial task performed by Sudras, which he considered to be impure. And the third element he identified, and you have to mention here, is the separation of pure and impure. And here you can give the example, this separation can be done through a process or through an institution called marriage, which is endogamy. Endogamy. And thereafter you have to mention, like, according to Dumont, caste hierarchy is a peculiar feature of Indian society, as I already told you, and there cannot be any cross-cultural comparison of the caste system. So he considered hierarchy, here the hierarchy is of status. That's why it is independent to power and economics. And here he gives the example of like even kings were subordinate to priests. And he also claimed that the separation of pure and impure is very much evident in the other field of Hindu life as well. He also said that he also claims that the Jajmani as an economic system, the Jajmani system as an economic system is also dominated by hierarchy, not on the principles of economics. So here you have to mention these things. And you can also mention here how caste is a set of a relationship of economic, politics, and kinship system, which is sustained by a central value. And these central value are mostly related to religious things, or these central value are mostly religious in nature. So here Dumont give primacy to value, culture, and tradition over and above the secular marker of the Indian society. And he also claims that here the caste system is not form of stratification, but as a spatial form of inequality and hierarchy. And this inequality and hierarchy is a central tenet of this caste system. And thereafter, you have to write about. He also claims that the purity or the principle of purity and pollution is universal in Indian society, irrespective of region and class. And here he rejects the M.N. Srinivas idea that caste hierarchy has both ritual and secular streams. So according to Louis Dumont, ritual hierarchy always dominates secular status. And thereafter you have to also write the contemporary uh, status of class or caste system in Indian society, the contemporary status. So he talks about or gives a concept called substantialization of caste. Substantialization of caste. So here you have to write the substantialization of caste. What exactly it is? It is one of the significant change that has taken place in that traditional interdependence. The traditional interdependence has been replaced by competing interests. And this is what he termed as substantialization of caste. So this constitute your first part of your main body. All about, you have to all write about the caste system or the caste system according to Louis Dumont. Thereafter comes the second part of your main body, where you have to write the criticism. Where you have to write the criticism. Within the criticism, you can start by mentioning the work of Andre Bethel, who claims that the Louis Dumont view are much on what caste ought to be, not what caste today is. And again, you can also criticize him by mentioning the work of G.D. Berryman. G.D. Berryman. Then you can also criticize on by the work of Yogendra Singh. Yogendra Singh. So these can constitute your part of criticism, and this is your second part of your main body. Then comes the conclusion. Here you can conclude by mentioning his contribution to the Indian sociology. So you can write like, despite criticism, Dumont rejuvenated the cultural dimension of the caste at a time when the field study, the structural functionalism, and the Marxist perspective were ruling the sociology. And you can also write a quote given by T.N. Madan, who calls, like, Indian sociology must have been poorer to a great extent without the contribution of Dumont. So this is how you can approach this question. How you can approach this question.